Their parking problems have gone from bad to worse, and they fear this is just the start. We'll explain their concern.
Federal authorities arrest a man in connection to the Palisades fire. More on the evidence they found.
The strong reaction tonight as Governor Newsom vetoes a measure that would have increased pay for California firefighters.
And what's going on with the old Nicolosi's restaurant that's been sitting empty for 3 years now? We are working for you and have an update from the developer.
The famed Tijuana Taqueria Tacos El Frontis opened up its second United States location right in the heart of the Gaslamp.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your emotional engines. You're about to take a ride on Eddie's Racetrack.
CBS 8 News live at 6 starts right now.
Frustration is growing for people living around Balboa Park over a lack of parking, and they fear things will get much worse once the city of San Diego starts charging to park in the park's lots and meters are installed on surrounding streets. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. As CBS 8's Steve Price reports, several new high-rises are going up in the area, blocking roads and parking spots. And the city is just starting a project that's taking away even more spaces.
Even on a good day, parking around Balboa Park can be difficult, but throw in all the construction going on around here now, and people living in the area say things have gotten worse, and their fear paid parking coming to this area in January, pushing even more cars into their congested neighborhood.
I've lived here 50 years, and I mean, we're considering moving.
Maggie Myers lives on 7th Avenue, a narrow dead-end street with parking only allowed on one side. It's one of the few areas near Balboa Park with no time limit for parking, making the spots here extremely valuable.
In the morning, sometimes I come to my car and there's someone already waiting at the end of the street waiting for me to leave. And then I come back 2 hours later and I can't find a place to park.
Many of the homes here have no off-street parking, which wasn't a problem until this. Huge construction projects bringing hundreds of workers who also need a place to park.
There's this construction project going up. It's one of at least 7 in like a half mile of where we live on 6th and 7th Avenues. We don't have assigned parking.
Mitch Munden also points out the problem won't get better when the buildings are finished because most of them don't have adequate parking spaces for all the new tenants.
There's this whole conundrum just brewing of everyone not having spaces, which sucks for them, of course, but then it's also going to impact all of us who live here on a block that doesn't have much parking.
On top of all that, the city just started working on a storm drain project a few blocks up the road that has taken away dozens of more spaces. A city spokesperson says the project has been in the works for more than 5 years and should be finished by the end of November.
It's really annoying.
Maggie says she asked the city to make her street permit parking for residents, but was told they don't qualify under the city's charter. She's also asked the city to fix her street lights so she doesn't have to walk blocks in the dark to her car. But years later, they're still broken.
We've had difficulty getting anybody from our city council office or from the city to listen to our concerns.
In Bankers Hill, Steve Price, CBS 8.
Thank you, Steve. Crews are making progress on a wildfire that broke out in rural North San Diego County yesterday. The so-called Sandia fire burned about 24 acres near Donnell Ranch Road in Duluth before firefighters stopped its spread. CAL FIRE said it did have the potential to grow to 250 acres, but a quick response slowed it down. It's now at 35% contained. Federal firefighting resources are limited right now due to the government shutdown, but CAL FIRE says state crews remain fully staffed.
A 29-year-old former Uber driver is under arrest tonight, accused of starting the deadly and destructive Palisades fire back in January. Federal authorities made the announcement today.
CBS 8 was on the scene in the days after the fire broke out. Alex Cheney was one of our reporters on the ground covering that massive fire. He joins us live to recount some of that and share what we're learning about the accused arsonist. Alex.
Yeah, Carlo, I was there on the second day of the Palisades fire, which was also my third day working here at the station. As our viewers know, I've covered lots of wildfires over my years, but this one was just particularly horrible, just watching all of those homes continue to burn down to the ground. And now today, the first opportunity for some closure for the thousands of people affected by this fire. ATF officials arrested Jonathan Rinderknecht earlier yesterday and announced that this morning they say that he started a fire in the Palisades on New Year's Day and that it continued to smolder and then by January 7th became the Palisades fire. 29-year-old Jonathan Rinderknecht, a former Uber driver, was arrested at his home in Melbourne, Florida yesterday for allegedly setting a fire on New Year's Day that eventually became the Palisades Fire. Right now we're on Sunset Boulevard in the Pacific Palisades area. CBS 8 photographer Kenny McGregor and I made our way to the center of the Palisades Village, where we saw a bank burn to the ground. This building is now fully engulfed. I don't think they're going to be able to save this at all. And we saw multiple burnt down structures through the Palisades, from apartment buildings. That is somebody's home. Somebody used to live there. To homes. And this is obviously a complete loss and is a really scary situation. And small businesses. The Palisades Mall area, it's a little bit of a shopping center. You can see here, we got maybe like a boutique. By nightfall, we watched street after street become rubble. This is just off of Chautauqua. As the Palisades fire tore through more homes and more lives were changed forever.
Good morning. I'm Bill Asaley.
Federal authorities now charging Rinderknecht with destruction of property by means of fire, which carries a sentence of 5 to 20 years if convicted.
Through this extraordinary team effort, investigators determined that the Palisades fire reported on January 7th was caused by an intentionally set fire near a viewpoint along the Temescal Ridge Trail in Topanga State Park on January 1st. The fire was a holdover fire, meaning it was deeply seated in dense vegetation and roots and continued to burn undetected until catastrophic weather ensued, resulting in the Palisades fire.
I've covered a lot of fires, but the Palisades fire still stays with me. Coming up tonight at 7, I'll tell you more about what those federal investigators found on Rinderknecht's digital devices. That's coming up next. Back to you.
Thanks, Alex. A potential setback in the meantime for Cal Fire firefighters, as Governor Gavin Newsom vetoed a bill that would have boosted their pay.
The governor says budget concerns drove his decision. But as CBS 8 political reporter Jenny Hub reports, the move is drawing strong reaction from union leaders.
Past few years, Governor Newsom has cited budget concerns as his #1 veto reason. He did the same when vetoing a bill that would have upped pay for state firefighters, and it's brought him quite some backlash.
Colleagues, I present AB 1309. It improves compensation for Cal firefighters by ensuring their salaries are more competitive with local fire departments.
Assembly Bill 1309, authored by Republican Heath Flora, was bipartisan, passing both in the Assembly and Senate.
The measure passes.
Newsom's veto message cited significant cost pressures for the state and the circumventing of collective bargaining measures.
The veto message is just dumbfounding to us because we put in there language for collective bargaining. We did not circumvent it. There was no immediate cost to the state of California because it's a negotiation. It could have been a 2-year, 3-year, 4-year contract to get us there.
Newsom's office tells us in a statement in part, quote, "This veto is not a denial of a pay raise, and we believe the matter of compensation is best handled through the collective bargaining process." Simply put, the bill would have narrowed the gap between what Cal Fire firefighters and some city and county firefighters make.
So working through collective bargaining, we've been working with CalHR to try to increase the wages to bring us up to par. And over the last few years, we've managed to get it within about 45 to 50% of local government.
The bill asked to make that number within 15% of the average salaries of 20 California fire departments, including the county of Los Angeles and the cities of Chula Vista, Escondido, and Stockton.
Let's just take our firefighter ones right now, which is our basic entry-level firefighter, which makes $18.36 an hour, where the average firefighter makes $29 to $30 an hour.
Tim Edwards, president of Cal Fire Local 2881 Union, says it was years of planning before putting forth the piece of legislation. But he says January's Eaton and Palisades fires were proof these firefighters could wait no more.
We are in 38 different counties and 122 different cities where we are their municipal fire department. We are fully trained like a local city, like San Francisco, Oakland, LA, San Diego. We are fully trained just like them. And we do the same job. We work more hours.
For some parts of the state, Cal Fire is the only emergency response. Yet despite that high demand, Edwards says they're losing more personnel, some moving to local agencies for lower ranks but higher pay. Jenny Hutt, CBS 8.
Thank you, Jenny. City leaders are celebrating the grand opening of a new affordable housing complex in downtown San Diego. It is exclusively for low-income families and at-risk populations. Today, we heard from a tenant set to move in next week who had trouble finding suitable housing. He told us this complex is a game changer for him.
I feel more enjoyable, more happier, more optimistic, more positive, more like I got this, I can do it, and I'm gonna keep pushing myself to the end.
Having a base to do all that with. The Harrington Heights complex features more than 270 units, with 65 set aside for people experiencing homelessness and 10 for veterans. The fight over Proposition 50 is now one of the most expensive in California history.
We are tracking the money raised on both sides of the issue still ahead. Plus, we're working to get answers about what's next for the vacant building in San Carlos that was once home to Nicolosi's restaurant.
But first, a popular restaurant south of the border opens another U.S. location in the heart of the gas lamp.
Lots of sunshine, our forecast for today, and as we go into the rest of tonight, we are going to see those clouds just building in through tomorrow and also talking about a chance for some wet weather. All those details are coming up.